and welcome to Georgie's Gundogs at Trails for Tails Dog Training. Well, hello everyone, hope you're well. In this episode we are going to progress your sit stays. So get it. It's a very random place to stick your head, mate, innit? Eh? Cockers, eh? Mad. Progress your sit stay. Before we start that, I just want to say again thank you thank you and hello to new subscribers. Since some more new subscribers have joined, so welcome. Again, loving the interaction of people telling me what they're doing with the dogs or enjoying the videos. It means a lot, so thank you. And like I said, it's nice that I'm starting to interact with people on here. I really like it, so really enjoy it, and I really appreciate that you're enjoying my videos and you're getting stuff out of them. That was the point, so it's really nice, so thank you again. Honestly, every time I probably say it, but I want you to know I'm appreciating the views, so thank you very much. So in this episode, what we are going to do is we're going to talk about progressing the sit stay. So this is another layer to add to your training. So like I said, some of the foundation stuff, I am going to add some progression videos so you can get cracking on with that. And as you're getting cracking on with that, I'll bring some new stuff in. Like I said, there's some puppy stuff going to be coming soon. Watch this space. Which will be good, starting from setting at home to all the way through. Like, you'll be coming on that journey, as well as the ones who don't at puppy stage but are progressing to other stuff as well. So this episode is about progressing your sit stay. So this is starting to bring in movement now while they're in a sit stay, whether that's us, mainly us actually at the moment, because we're not bringing in any steadiness working, because that is a separate exercise, but you'll see how your sit stay molds into that exercise. This is about bringing a bit more duration in. This is about bringing a bit more movement in, learning to release properly on your sit stay. Just because you're moving doesn't mean come to me, or just because you're touching a whistle or your hands go out or you say something, it doesn't mean move until that specific time you move, whether you're heeling them off or you're releasing them on a release cue word. So this is all about, because a lot of people ask me, how do I get that distance in? How do I build that movement in? Because some people run before they can walk with the sit stay. And like one of my pet hates, obviously, is sit, wait, stay there. Yeah, because you just end up nagging the dog, and really that's just fall out of your sit stay, and that is a reflection of your cue is not strong enough, or you lack a bit of confidence in your exercise. You know, I always say to my handlers, ask them once, trust what you've trained, and if you do need to act a couple of times, then that's feedback. We need to go back a couple of stages. So this is all about breaking down to the dog now, movement in, so that they learn that when things are happening, I don't move, okay? I get my lot moving a lot, because so many people do sit stay and they just stare at the dog. You know, it's like one of the classics on the Canonical Bronze and stuff like that. People just stare at the dog. And it's good to bring in movement. Don't get me wrong, there are some sit stays where you'll need to be still a little bit if you're doing certain things. But when you're too still with a sit stay and that's all they ever learn, once you start moving, they go, oh, okay, what's going on? Or they go, oh, that must be something meaning for me. So when you bring in such a variety of movement, I've even had one client, no word of a lie, they're a legend, cartwheel across while the dog was sit stay. I didn't say it as a joke, transpired, professional gymnast. I did notice that with the finish. I like that. I couldn't believe it. But it was all about bringing movement in. So whatever you do, I mean, I have done some random stuff. I've done proper dancing. I have done roly-polies. I know, roly-polies brings you back childhood, doesn't it? Showing me age now. But it is about these movements, because there's times the dogs are going to be in a sit stay out there, whether it's a sit stay which will be joined with a stop whistle out there or in front of you in hunting out there in retreats, and things might go past, things might go out, things might flash in front of them, and if they're sat there, we need them to be able to cope with that movement. You might be distracted, you might have an itch or something, you know, and especially if you're competing, you need that dog to be rock solid. Yeah. So movement should mean anything until you have given specific instructions followed by it, and you'll pair them in later down the line with what exercise. The reason why I'm teaching this is because there's going to be exercise on the other progression that you'll need a sit stay to help with that progression. So learning to be able to leave the dog for one, building a bit of duration, building movement is an important thing, an important part of the sit stay. Oh, good boy. Knox going off in the background. Even though he's not bothered, I always like to nice association with shop, don't we? And sit there. Aren't we? Good boy. So it's important that we build in this movement, that we break it down to the dog though. This is what we're going to do. So what we're going to do in the clip is you will see that I break down my steps. So it might be, okay, now I've got 5 paces away and I can get that movement away. So you, in the first video, it was just getting the sit position, a bit of duration, taking a couple of steps. Well, I'm going to take more steps and start building payment. Walking away with my back and facing the dog so they learn both. Then you'll see that how I break down movement. So I might just touch my whistle, go in and pay. So I break it down every little detail because the dog will start learning just because she's saying that something good's going to come, but it doesn't mean I move. I mean, obviously I'll get more with movement, so I'll be able to do 3, 4, 5 manoeuvres, then going in pay. But at the beginning, it's just the first. I might go, right, whistle, pay. Touch my head, pay. Arms open, pay. Tap my knees is a big one because when people tap the knees, so many people, the dogs come in because people use that for recall. Open arms is another one. You know, if they're listening to your cue, that shouldn't mean, you know, come on, right? So bringing in these movements in between, always giving feedback to the dog, which is payment. That's what I want. That's what I want from you. Spot on. And as they're going through the process, you'll see I'll build in a couple more, then a couple more after that, to the point I should be able to walk around the dog, skip around the dog, and you'll see me gradually build it. Now, don't get me wrong, he's got a strong sit stay. Again, for this, I like to, when in the early learning, I like to use the place board, because if I built value in that place board as well as my sit stay, it will help with why I'm building this exercise. Like I said, I fade the board out later, but it helps to support that exercise, hence why I find the place board so useful, especially for younger dogs. If I've had a lot of fun on it, they want to stay on it a lot easier. So I use that as well. So I'll have them on the place board. So this is where you can practice your cue when you're very close to it. Can they go to it? Again, that will come in a progression on how to bring distance with the board. But this is about sit stay. So I will use the board, have the dog on the board, and then I will start my manoeuvres around the board, giving feedback to Sid all the time. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted. Spot on. And you'll see how I start putting the duration in, more movement, everything. All right. So this is about progression on your sit stay, because again, there's going to be more progressions with your sit stay later down the line. Yeah. You'll see in other exercises how we build it together. So we're building that bridge. So that bridge becomes one. Yeah. All these layers. That's what it's all about, layers. And that's what I mean. People will still teach a basic sit stay and expect them to sit stay everywhere else. Well, we haven't built them layers yet. We haven't taught that dog that picture. Because every part of your training is a different learning picture for the dog with anything. So what we're doing today on the sit stay is all about movement duration, getting them used to being sat in this nice still position while you're moving. Doesn't mean come out of it, and this is what I mean by recalling out of it. You only ever do that if you're doing a specific exercise, like maybe recall from distractions, or you're doing stuff like that. But in this specific exercise, this is about them learning movement, learning to build on with it, learning to be able to cope with certain things. And like I said, down the line, we'll bring in steady and throwing things around them. All that will come. Again, it'll be broken down in different layers. But this is about us making movement, because we are the one that they're going to watch the most, which will make it easier for them before we bring in throwing stuff around them and that, because they're not ready. Yeah, you need to get yourself movement first, because you're the biggest one. And then once that is pretty solid, then we'll bring in that start of steadiness with it. Okay, so I hope you enjoy the clip. And again, thank you to the new subscribers. I hope you enjoy this next stage of your sit stay process. Can't wait to hear about how you get on with it, really. Right, so here's the clip. Hope you enjoy it. See you on the next episode. Bye. Hello. So in this video you are going to learn to bring in movement and distance and a little bit of duration with your sit stay. Okay, so if you first learn how to lead off on that leg, that means stay there, okay, or sit stay there. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to bring in movement to the dog. Okay, how we break it down, every little bit of stage, bringing in the distance, bringing in the duration, bringing in the movement. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way to you. Yes, I usually do a sit stay and I leave on the dog side, but obviously you want to see what I'm doing out here, but I will still leave from this leg. So okay, I've progressed the dog, so let's say you're roughly about here with your training and you're getting away. Right, now I'm going to bring in a bit more distance with the dog. I'm going to mark the dog every time they've got it right. Okay, so once I've took a couple of more steps, I'll come back on the way. Yes, that's what I wanted. Give them that feedback, pay them. All right, so you're going to see distance, then I might hold out a bit longer, duration, then I might bring in movement. All the way through that, I am paying the dog, okay? I'm rewarding the dog for making the right choice of being sat there, giving them feedback. You are on the right track, you are listening, you are understanding what I'm asking, okay? So we're moving a bit of distance. You might start there this time, go back in, pay. Okay, so I'm just doing the distance at the moment. Yes. Marking, paying. Now, if your dog is struggling past 3, stop there a minute. Build it back, okay? Don't forget, he has practiced this a lot. So think what your dog is doing. Think of the setup. Always be aware of that. You can put a verbal on. Sit there. So you can say sit. As well to reinforce that sit stay. Right, so I've brought a bit of distance on now. Now I'm going to bring a bit of movement, which is also going to support your duration, because movement, you're adding little things into the dog and they have to still sit there, which is the duration building in as well. So I might move out, I might touch my jacket. Yes, mark it, go back in and pay. Touch my head. Yes, good. Touching my jacket, touching my whistle. See how I'm building in little bit at a little bit, going back in and paying. Touch my jacket, touch my whistle, touch my head, go back in and pay. Touch my jacket, touch my whistle, touch my head, arms out. Go in and pay. Pick a leg out, another leg out. Knees, arms, go in and pay. Checking my laces, that's another one they come over to because they're nosy. All the time I'm giving him feedback. I'm not doing it for ages. Again, this is a progression. This is not the full picture. You're another layer. So this is what I'm doing with the young dog. So then I might stop there, right? And say, you know what? I've had a successful one. So you can even release them verbally, okay? Off you go. Or you can say, yes, good boy. Back on. Yeah, so that is how I would start it, break it down. So point, you can go out, walk around, run, Mr. Siddeley. Okay, but that could get bigger, bolder, things we can do. Really have fun with it. You know, you don't have to, don't matter if you look silly. You'll teach a dog whatever movement, because if I'm hunting and he's in front of me and I move my hand, it might not mean I want you to get in that cover. If he's out there handling and I've just gone like that, it doesn't mean you're going a certain distance, yeah? It's all about them staying there until they are given instruction for the next move, okay? So that is how we progress. Again, this is another layer in your sit stay. This isn't the complete picture. Another layer you can build in. So that is the sit stay. Good boy. Well done. Good boy, Siddy. Yay! Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Yeah. Good lad, thank you.